Google AdWords and Google search is dead. About 15 months ago, I would go to a crowd. I'd be like, stand up if you are now using ChatGPT or whatever instead of what you would use Google for. 10% would stand up and it would shock people. We were just in Vegas or Orlando, I don't know where we were, but I asked the same question. Actually stand up. Jesus, this is a real number. Stand up, I need everybody to see this. The people that are standing right now use ChatGPT or something else to look up stuff they used to use Google for. The whole room stood up. If Google perfectly executes Gemini, they're still gonna lose an extraordinary amount of market share in their biggest financial driver. There's nothing they can do.
Hey there, how's it going? I'm Jason, I'm your host. Welcome to the week in YouTube Finance. Hey everybody, how's it going? Just trying something a little different here. Usually I do a weekly summary of all the YouTube business goings on. This one really struck a chord with me and I wanted to share it with everybody. So be sure and grab yourself a drink, get some water. Don't forget your notebook for notes. Maybe I'll just interject along the way and reiterate the points that I think are really important, but let's just get into it.
Where do you think technology is going? So what is AI going to mean
Let's go.
On a practical sense?
I mean, I think it means that the robots will kill our children. And that's fine, because the dinosaurs lost. I think this is as big as it gets. This one's really, again, because I went through Web 1, Web 2, Web 3, and now we're whatever we're gonna call this. Every other time, when I understood what email was, and I understood what search engines were, and that's how I built my daddy's liquor store to a big company with no money, I had time. I was plotting in 96. I was plotting and executing in 97. I was plotting and executing in 98, 99, 2000. And then somewhere in 2003, like people caught up, technology caught up. When Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, today's YouTube's 20th birthday, right now. So it's April, what, 20 what? Thank 3. So April 23, 2005. I started Wine Library TV, a 5-day-a-week, 20-minute wine show on YouTube on February 21st, 2006. So less than a year of its even existence, I was already full-pledged, all in, and technology was different back then. New apps adoption now is fast. Back then, that was crazy fast to go all in, and I thought that YouTube was gonna change my life, and it did. I had time. 2006, 7, 8. I'm in rooms in 2009, I'm like, this YouTube thing, and people are like, what? That's 3 years. The technology barely changed in those 3 years. This fucking game, I'm like fucking down, like playing with a new AI thing, and they're like, this is the craziest LLM ever, and I'm like, this is fucking amazing, and like an hour later, like, that's shit, this just came out, and I'm like, fuck, this is fast. As long as the laws are in place the way they're in place, the only thing left is NIL and IP. Name, image.
Listen.
And as long as the laws are in place the way they're in place, the only thing left is NIL and IP. Name, image, and likeness, intellectual property. So if you're one of these people that believes you want to, because you think there's value in it, you think it'll help you raise money, you think it'll help you get good employees, these are all real things if you're teched the fuck out. I think you get started on LinkedIn if it's this crew. I think LinkedIn, Google Shorts, because don't forget, YouTube is still the second, YouTube Shorts, YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world. So you get a lot of long tail, and you can go very nerdy. You can make a video that is like as nerdy as you want to go, title it that way. As you know, there's gonna be a small group of people that are gonna search that too, and they're gonna find you. So I think I'm a big fan of YouTube Shorts and LinkedIn for this audience, if their objectives are to create demand for venture raising, create demand for talent. I'm sure a lot of you are thinking every day of like, you're in an arms race for the best talent. How are you going to outpace a top 10 tech company that is willing to pay a hell of a lot more? You will get lucky, / it will work because some people are ready to own their own thing, and that's what you're trading on. But the other way is somebody's just gonna wanna work with you because you said something they liked. So those would be places I would go. The other thing I would say, I think people are, even when you said most of these people probably didn't post, I think we overgeneralize around tech individuals not being charismatic, not having gifted gab. Look, I've worked with a lot of engineers. we can all agree this room right now doesn't look like the TikTok creator summit that's going on right now. So yes, there's generalizations that are true, but what I also know is a lot of people here are incredibly capable of making videos. I would also say for the ones here who are most self-deprecating or even not kind to yourself, you do not have to be gift of gab, fucking the words flow. You definitely don't have to be attractive. This is a game of the value. If you put a camera down and just spit your fucking game of the shit you really know, even if it's not dynamically done, it will find the audience that needs it or wants it. In 2003, I believed that I thought the internet was the most important thing that had ever happened. But the world was shitting on the internet because internet stocks had just collapsed in April 2000 because the greed of Wall Street made companies worth $5 billion even though they had no revenue because we understood the promise of the internet, but the economics hadn't happened. The NFT summer, the reason, since it sounds like you follow me, the reason, thank God I did this. In August of 21, I started, after I was like NFTs, I was the one who started making videos saying 99% of NFTs are going to zero. Because I saw, thank God, because the reason I'm able to maintain my personal brand is I would have been flushed out with that as well had I not hedged out of seeing the behavior. I'm like, fuck, people are just doing bullshit scam. Like it was just so much bad behavior. Greed, short term. Not nice. The reverse, running a sprint for $1 million and ruining your reputation in perpetuity versus building something meaningful. But it doesn't change what an NFT is. NFTs is going to be one of the most fun things to watch play out. Non-fungible tokens are so important because China, Russia, and America, Amazon, and Google can't control it. As we go, so for example, every piece of content I make going forward in the next decade will first go on the blockchain, my blockchain, so that when you guys see me on the internet doing all sorts of things that I'm not actually doing, you're gonna have a place to validate, did I actually put that out or did somebody else make it? And as far as VeeFriends, I'm gonna build the next Pokemon, so my VeeFriend NFTs are gonna be valuable. But 99% of things won't be valuable. 99% of sneakers are not valuable, 1% are. 99% of watches are not valuable, but 1% are. 99.9% of trading cards are worthless, but Pikachu's rookie card and Charizard and Michael Jordan and Wayne Gretzky's is worth a fucking fortune. Where people got confused with NFTs is they decided all NFTs were worth money. That would be like saying all art is worth money. No, 0.1% is. So it still takes execution. And if VeeFriends are going to be worth nothing unless over the next 20 years, I get everybody here to fall in love with the characters. And that's why I do trading cards and comic books and cartoons and all the traditional stuff. But capturing the economics of the value you create. But I've been happily giving YouTube and Facebook and everybody else their overcharging cut because without that distribution, I would have had to pay for attention. When everyone's like, oh, when creators are like, fuck Instagram, like, motherfucker, you wouldn't exist without it. And you didn't pay shit for it. You're not paying for Instagram. You're trading those economics for global scaled attention, the number one asset in the world. I would argue that I owe Meta and YouTube money, not the other way around, because I understand the actual game. Because guess what? Now that the blockchain's here, I still have that equity. IP and NIL is the end state.
Do me a favor and hit that YouTube tip jar. Hit that like button. Like that. Thank you so much. And I would love it if you subscribed. So help me out. Talk to you soon.